failure is just a destination. If you plan properly for the failure, what if failure comes? What is the plan B? And how you can keep focusing on plan A, even in the failure situation. For that, you have to communicate to your team, and then you have to have a trustees in the company. So that is what is my message to any new entrepreneur. What you are doing is not a business. Focus on what you are not doing.
Good morning, folks. Welcome back. Once again, happy to be here at IDW Day 2 from Washington, D.C. It's not very often that I get an opportunity to share my couch with the very prestigious, with the person, the man himself, who has not only invested in Zebu, but created a multifaceted, impact, not only on me, but on many entrepreneurs worldwide. It's my privilege and honor today to be talking to Mr. Bankim Brahmbhatt, the Chairman of Bankai Group, the Chairman and Founder of Bankai Ventures, and also our anchor investor at Zebu. He is a person who requires no introduction. He is somebody who has created a park in the telecommunication industry, the founder of one of the top 5 telecom carriers in the world, the man who has helped, advised, and shown light to many entrepreneurs globally. Apart from investing in Zebu, he has also invested in multiple other successful businesses. He has helped in creating and orchestrating hundreds of entrepreneurs globally. Today, a lot of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and people like me look up to him for guidance and seeking help and support in creating businesses that do real impact. Without any further ado, I want to welcome Mr. Bankim Brahmbhatt on the show. So thank you.
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you. You are so generous to introduce me here. It's a great show today.
Thank you. Sir, we would love to start our discussion with a quick introduction about you. We all know all the great things that you have done for the industry, for telecommunication. Personally, my experience here over the last 2 days has been 9 out of 10 people I talk to, the moment I say Bankai Group, they need no further introduction. So there's an immense impact that you have created on the industry. But beyond that, we also want to know everything about who you are for all the audience who are listening today.
So, Raghav, I would like to start the discussion since 1985 when I started my journey with a company called Gujarat Communication Electronics Limited in India. So India was experiencing the mechanical telephone equipments and the migration from that mechanical exchanges to electronic exchanges. I was a part and a witness of that migration. I was working with this company for 4 years, who has a collaboration with company like Edkey, Siemens, and they were producing electronic product. So I learned 80 products like single channel transmitter receiver, telephone exchanges, telephones, and many other products within the telecom mainstream. So that experience was my that enabled me to get into telecom. In 1989, I started my own manufacturing unit, and I started the cellular product and supply as an OEM to multiple companies in India, and even the companies who are coming, MNCs who are coming to India. So that's how my journey started. Then when we start business, we think, hey, I'm able to manufacture and sell that. That is a business. But no, my experience is business is something else. In 1994, India came out with deregulation of telecom, landline telephone, and they came out with their telecom licenses. And we just rolled out 70 exchanges, and then that was my journey between 89 and 98, where we were running 70 exchanges and we was manufacturing multiple products. And 98, I decided to cash out my business with and explore something internationally. And then that's where I got some connection in the United States. And then at that time, VoIP industry was booming. After 95, if you've seen, that is the era when TDM technology was adopted by all the operators. And while for international calling, the VoIP technology was introduced in the 90s. And there was a little war between the operators and the carriers, where operators were denying to use the VoIP at all. But then thanks to FCC, and then they released few licenses, and then company called MCI, ITXC, they started their journey. And I come across one of those carriers, and then they wanted to actually build the billing software. And then we helped one of the carrier to build the billing software, and we were providing them in billing and reconciliation services, and that's how I learned this business.
Yeah.
And because of my relationship with the operators in Africa, Middle East, and Asia, and these carriers sitting in US, one of the partners in US, they wanted us to work on their behalf on that part, because they were connected more on Latin American carriers, and then they were doing voice and SMS business between Latin America and America, but they wanted to expand their business in other part of the world. So we enabled them to interconnect more than 70, 80 operators in that part of the world. They grew from $100 million in revenue to $300 million in 3 years, 4 years down the line. And that was the great experience when I learned the carrier business. In 2005, that particular carrier got an offer from some European carrier to acquire, and we also had a chance to get acquired, but I decided to keep going on the journey, and we denied to get acquired, and then we just part our ways, and then we took FCC 214 license in 2005. Now, starting from that journey, because I always coming from manufacturing and embedded technology, we started our journey not just as a carrier, but we also focus on underlying technologies. So we created our session border controller, billing system in a way. It's a complete telecom resource management. We started with a $10 million in revenue, and we are today about near to $2 billion. So that is the story about carrier business. For all these 20 years, there are a lot of other things that I believe in diversity. And then keep yourself fresh by talking to young people, fresh blood in the market, and keep learning new things, because sometimes we think, hey, I did the great job in 1985. That is not going to help me for lifetime. Also, I have to keep learning. Technology, software industry is completely new for me. So I was spending time with developers, and I was learning from those developers, because software was something which was not my cup of tea. We experimented in fintech, core banking solution between 2009 and 2015. Slowly kept investing in building the IPs, rather than trying to go and sell the software in the market and create the valuation and invite the VCs. I decided to just invest from the free cash flow of the voice business into technology as an investor. So we were playing internal investment as well as a VC. And those, we built roughly 200 developers in India. And that was my investment. It's a long-term investment. Now in 2015, when we reached to $300 million revenue, at that time the entire carrier industry was relying on mainly the credit provided by the operators. Okay, and then entire business was running on credit to each other. Company was debt free. And I thought, okay, why we should not convert this business into investment? So after 2015, I decided to change this business into investment business along with the service delivery within the telecom. And I approached few investors, they helped me, and then we created insured receivables rather than provide credit to the customers on a uninsured way. We created insured receivables where we get a lot of traffic from the operators and carriers. We work with Euler closely, Euler and Hofers, and today we are having roughly more than $300 million insured asset. And that's how I created the portfolio. And that taught me, hey, industry is more than we can think. And parallelly, we were also growing in the fintech business. In 2016, my investors, they said, hi, why don't you deploy the funds? If you are managing the insured receivables very well, so why don't we start a company which can build a factoring business? And I was also always thinking, why so many carriers are required between two operators? I would like to do something in life where we reduce the distance between two operators. Because if you see the margins are shrinking. Why? Because there are so many carriers are trying to contribute one point. So from 2016 till today, we grew by investing into diverse sectors like AI, blockchain, and that's why Zebu concept is all about. So this is what is my journey so far. And moving forward, I would like to keep continuing investing in the various technologies and diversities.
Absolutely. So thank you for giving us all the details of the journey. I'm sure we have seen lives of great people like Ratan Tata, Steve Jobs. We have heard your journey. People say nothing is an easy path. Today, when people look at you, they are so wowed by your success, what you have accomplished in your lifetime. People feel that, oh, how can somebody achieve so much in their one lifetime so much? But behind this, there is a lot of sacrifice, hard work, toil that goes through. So why don't you share some of your such personal stories on how you had to struggle? I mean, being very fortunate to share the proximity with you, I know some of the stories where you have traveled length and breadth of the country, had picked people, did businesses, build it, brick by brick. But for our audience, can you share more details on what it took for you to get to the stage we are today?
So thanks, Raghav. First of all, I respect and I'm inspired by Mr. Tata a lot. And I'm not a person who can comparable with him. He is a big veteran in the industry. So when you talk about struggle and tragedy is what? You create this tragedy yourself by your mistakes. But I take it as an entertainment. Because when when the tragedy is created or a struggle is created, it was your choice. Like suppose for me, if I talk about myself, it was tough for me to coming from India, a small city like Gandhinagar, where my father was just government officer, right? And raising fund for the first business was a struggle. So money itself is a struggle. Either you will find hundreds of entrepreneurs. They will say, hey, if I have money, I will do this. Yeah. But where is the money? Right. So that is, sometimes you feel, hey, just a small money, $100,000 is not a big deal. But no, it's a big deal. For some part of the world where the small city and the background, you don't have access of international market. So I was but fortunate about having my relationship with the DCL, and so I connected with the international telecom world. But keep working, and then every day is a new day for it. So if you make your day success, your week will be success. And if you make your month success, your year will be success. But do things ethical. And then you have to win the trust of your investors, your vendors, your employees. If you take care of all these three things, things will automatically happen. It's not my journey or my success. A lot of employees contributed in my journey. They came, they transformed the Bankai, and they moved on. Few are still with me, and that's what it's all about. The success is all about. So it's not all me alone, it's me and my team. We have 2,000 people in Bankai. We built these 2,000 people in 35 years.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. I think that's the need of the hour, and that kind of brings me to my next question. So today we see a lot of this buzz, especially in a lot of emerging economies like India, where people are like, oh, I'm building something. I want to be a unicorn in 3 months. I want to be a unicorn in 6 months. We see a lot of our youngsters getting kind of caught up in this get-rich-quick schemes. We know that doesn't work. We know it's not a sustained model. But that's the kind of rush they are in. I personally feel one of the things that they miss, which we keep hearing from you very often, is the value system, is the system with which they kind of want to develop, want to grow, and want to create an impact. So I want to know more from you around that, sir. How important, according to you, is the value system for an entrepreneur, for somebody who wants to build a business?
So, see, I was also learning this valuation game, especially since last 10 years. Because it was something new for me. When I started a business, it was considered like once you start a business, your family is going to do the same business. That was that era. When it was a change after 10 years, I learned, hey, you should get the exit from the business. So that was something new for me 15 years back. So there are two choices for an entrepreneur. Are you doing business for exit? I'm not against that. But then you should accordingly plan your projections. Right. And then other side, you are creating something for great future of many people. So business is not all about you are making profit for yourself. What type of ecosystem you are going to create and how many people you are going to include in your thought process. And it should be inclusive management, inclusive vision, where you aggregate many entrepreneurs. Sometimes even your internal employees are acting as an entrepreneur. They have an unfulfilled dream.
Sir, one of the things that we see today is a lot of these entrepreneurs are in a rush to become a unicorn, to become a world's #1 company, to double their revenues overnight. There are a lot of these get-rich-quick schemes, and we know it doesn't work. And especially from a man like you who has built multiple successful businesses, I'm sure you have a lot of value system, and that's what we talk about most of the times. What is your message to these aspiring entrepreneurs? What are those important facets that they should look at when they are building, a business?
So it was a new learning for me as well when I saw the valuation game started after the dot-com era of the one, because in telecom, if I see, when dot-com came and then a lot of fiber optics companies getting more valuation and then they bankrupt. And then I'm the witness of those era, and then suddenly the software industry, I see a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs successfully got exited at a higher valuation. And it was learning for me as well. I was trying to understand how this valuation economics are working for the companies who are buying those companies. So I can understand this company like Facebook, Apple, Google, they are creating the world actually, right? So, and they acquire some company for if it is a synergic acquisition, it's a great lottery for the people who are just got acquired by those big giants. But if you see the success ratio of companies, the startups getting into the business and then getting actual success of the exit. So there are two ways you can think on this. Are you, as an entrepreneur, you would like to create a value system where you create a value slowly, gradually, while you are experimenting, learning, and inclusively creating your vision every year, evolving your vision, and then creating the team of people who can run the company. So that is one way of doing it. The other way is you come with innovation, somebody will try to invest in you, and then you got lucky and just sell the company. So I'm not against that approach as well, but then you have to be ready for your risk. And that's where the VC funds came into the picture. They bet on the entrepreneurs, and then they get success. If you see the success of VC funds, they get success on a 10 to 15% companies, and more than 80-85% companies are not making enough money. So I never wanted to be a part of that journey. So, and then it's not because of I never wanted to by choice, but I was never on that situation, because when you started a business, we just thought, we have to keep this legacy for years. Okay. Now coming back to my experience, because every person has a different experience based on their geographical location, financial situation, their knowledge, the knowledge of their team, the selection of the team. So there are multiple combinations are acting for success and failure of their business. But I consider failure is just a destination. If you plan properly for the failure, what if failure comes? What is the plan B? And how you can keep focusing on plan A, even in the failure situation. For that, you have to communicate to your team, and then you have to have trustees in the company. So we have a sandwich management. So what do I mean about the sandwich management means? We build the team, like suppose I give two choices to my employees. You would like to remain a trustee or a professional. So all trustees should be professionally working, but professionals comes and transform the company and they work for 2-3 years and they would like to move on. I'm fine with that. But then they make these trustees to learn new things. The trustees are learning, keep learning, and that opportunity I'm giving to my team. And that's how we have built 250 plus trustees. And that's where our success is. Third important thing is diversity, inclusive. When in Bankai, we are working as a team, like suppose with any new thing comes, I sit with even junior most people to take their opinion. And sometimes you get a fresh thought from the Gen Z and millennials. And that it's an inclusive decision is also important. And we grow, if you really see the Bankai is grown in 35 years. So I don't consider it's a great growth of a $2-3 billion. It's not a great growth in terms of financial doing. But in terms of my satisfaction, I'm personally satisfied because I have 2,000 people who are, out of that at least 500 people are going to stand by with me for any risk factors for the future. So that is what is my message to any new entrepreneur. What you are doing is not a business. Focus on what you are not doing.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, sir. Very, very well said. Moving on to the next question, sir, I think, like I said, I've been very fortunate. I've been part of many boardroom discussions with you. One thing that we all get fascinated about today is your hunger for newer technologies, that newer business models and newer ideas. I have seen you up close when you get excited about artificial intelligence. I would not hesitate to say probably you are the most advanced in technology adoption when it comes to AI, when it comes to be it, how do we use ChatGPT for creating different legal models, business models. We learn so much. So one question that kind of is not just my question, but everybody else who are in the boardroom who look up to you is how do you keep up the pace with technology? And is it that you like exploring new technologies? Is it that you love seeing the outcomes, or is it the business side of you? What makes you stay so ahead of a race?
So when you believe we know everything, you stop doing research. Generally, I never believe I know anything. I know nothing. So that is my approach. And then every day, if you see the last 15 years, the new technologies that keep coming. So the Gen Z has a more knowledge than millennial in some technology. Millennial has more knowledge than younger people. So it's in my journey, it was a situation at that time when I started. I get excitement to learn new technology. Like suppose what you do for the entertainment, you watch a movie, right? You cannot watch same movie again and again. Would need new stories every day. So that's what is my passion, to learn, do research. What is this AI? Because let me give you one example. When we built the billing system, I was thinking, what we are collecting so much data. If I would like to analyze that data, I have to use the Excel sheet or maybe, some Microsoft database or Oracle database. And developers were giving me a hard time to create the report. Now, this AI is the new animal, right? And so I started learning it, and then I always would like to dig down and sit with my developers. Hey, what is behind this? So at the end, it is the evolvement of the codes, if you really see, And then when we talk about hardware is also involved a lot, right? So that is my passion, to keep myself entertained by knowing new things.
So next question is, we have, at least like I said, I've been very lucky. We get to have a lot of conversations. The whole world today is very bullish about India as a nation of billion plus minds coming together and doing a lot of great things. And you have been talking a lot about how, we can kind of be the emerging superpower in the world and all of that. What, according to you, is very unique between both the countries, sir? I'm sure, you have lived and spent a lot of time in India and then in US. We want to hear from you what are the unique advantages that India as a nation offers, because you have a huge manpower that is not only working in IT, but you have your presence in manufacturing, in dairy, in FMCG, in a lot of other businesses, and the same thing in US. So what, according to you, have been the unique value prop of India and US?
So when I started my journey, I never seen the emerge market. So I was just assuming, hey, all happiness lies in the emerge world. Correct? And we all are struggling in India.
Sir, I have had the, privilege of understanding from you in terms of how you have grown large businesses in India, not just in IT. We have a great footprint in IT, in manufacturing, in FMCG and all of that. And we have massive manpower in India, and you have a large team here. You also have very established businesses in US. You have a lot of businesses that have been very successful in the United States. Both the countries have unique things to offer. India is a emerging superpower that is doing a lot of great things, and United States has always been in the forefront. So I want to understand from you, what are the unique value propositions that these nations have to offer?
So if I compare India and US, actually you can't compare, first of all, because India has a great team effort, because India is was emerging when I started the business. So in 90s, India was struggling.
Right.
But after 2000, what I see is a lot of things are changing. And especially in last 10 years, India is emerging very fast, 10 times faster than earlier. So that is what is my observation. And when I moved to US in 1999, 2000, I liked that the legal system, the law and enforcement. So because they have evolved in last 200 years, India is about the freedom for before 70 years. Right. So you cannot compare with strictly. But the great part of India is the human resource, the dedication of the people. They are willing to work, unnegotiated. They have a great energy to learn new things. Right. And then young forces and the population itself is a strength of it. And then you will find them, because I'm working with a lot of young people, they are ready to work in weekend. Even sometimes I tell them, hey, why you go in this? Right. But they are so much focused on their mission. Right. A mission which company has created on their dedication is that become amazing. Second thing is the cost effectivity. Right. It is uncomparable. So the mix of intelligence of the United States along with the force of India, we created Bankai Group.
Beautiful.
So that is what is the difference.
This is great, sir. Great. So both the countries have something very unique to offer, and they have helped in the journey. Sir, we move to the last segment of the discussion on this couch at Zebu podcast. This is called the personal segment, where we ask a lot of personal questions about your personal life, and people get to know the other side of you, the personal side of you. So I'll start with my first question, and this has been a puzzle that has been in most of our head. When we look at your family, when we look at you, you are a great tycoon. You are a veteran who has built so many successful businesses. We see ma'am, she's running some of the most complex businesses today, be it the dairy, be it the composite, be it the manufacturing part of it. We see your daughter, she's doing phenomenal on the new age, cutting edge technology, creating the AI lab, creating the Bankai labs, and doing a lot of cool things there. And then we see the youngest man of the family, your son, who is now CEO of a very promising blockchain company, a Web3 company, and also doing a lot of other very promising things. So, how is it on your dinner table? Do you all four of you sit and talk about business models, best practices? What do we do, or how does it look like?
So first of all, Raghav, I'm wherever I am right now. We are talking too good about me, but without my wife, I would never do anything in my life, because let me tell you, we both have a same education, and she has to choose when we married, because I was not having enough money. And in India, it was culturally difficult to allow a woman to work outside. So in family. So first 10 years, I committed her, you just focus first 10 years taking care of home.
Yeah.
And then after 10 years, when kids are grown, you can start working in my business. And she followed that, she supported me. Sitting at home, she was supporting my business indirectly, not just taking care of home, but she groomed my kids like, the Raj and Priyanka were there right now.
Right.
So now your question is today how we are working. So Priyanka or Raj, personally did not get enough time to focus on them because I was traveling a lot. But Ami created these two kids. She groomed them, and then Priyanka is now having 3 degrees, and then she's focusing on a fintech and core banking solution. Raj is the CEO of Zebu.
Right.
Amit is, in last 10 years, she is working on a lot of projects in India, infrastructure project. So we four have got a good daily, we take 1 hour,
Right.
video conferencing, because hardly we are at one place.
Right.
Okay, and then we keep some 1 week time every month, right, to be together, and then focus other 3 weeks on business.
Right.
So even if we are living together in one home at that time, we are discussing the business,
Right.
but we definitely have a family vacation.
Beautiful. Beautiful, sir. This is so good to know. I come to the next question, which is again very personal. I know that you grew up in a family where your grandfather owned a movie theater. I know today we embarked on a very successful production house, Bankai Films. I know your love and passion for art, films, and all of that. When Mr. Bankim Brahmbhatt is not working, what are your areas, hobbies, passions? I know you appreciate an art, but other than that, what else? What are the other areas?
So generally, the definition of not working is what? like if you are not working, you're taking risk, spending time with family,
Yeah.
and otherwise you're entertaining yourself.
Right.
So working for me is entertainment. So, I'm working, I'm entertaining myself.
Beautiful.
Now, rest of the time, I would like to sleep for 6-7 hours and then spend time with the family. But my family is also same like me now, because they are also keep working.
Correct.
So we all are getting entertained ourselves.
Very nice. Very nice. So one last question on the personal front before we close. And most of them who had either the boardroom interactions or who had work related interactions with you believe, and we all know that the way we see you at the beginning of the day, we see the same energy 15 hours into the day. And people, kind of keep asking me, how does sir maintain this energy? How does he how does he manage to stay so up on the game all through the day, whether it is at 8 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m. in the night?
So I'm trying to balance my energy. I'm not fitness freak, but as I just said, I'm entertaining every moment, because business is something, not just business, that I'm meeting too many people every day within the team and hearing them out, that keep my brain entertained, and that's why I think this energy is there.
Perfect. Sir, thank you so much for taking your time. I know it was a very, very hectic day for you at ITW. Thanks for joining the Zebu Couch. and sharing your personal stories with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.